Alright, Shalom. I want to start off with a little praise and a word to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Kadosh. Ask you a bit of honor since the apostles of the elders of great wisdom and high name of truth. And I'd like to say peace and salutations of it. Hopefully that video there I'm going to the video real nice to you that I came across earlier. And it says nuclear bomb fails that almost caused the war. So I'm going to play this quick. And then go into it. I got a couple scriptures already reflecting with that from scripture point. So for the sake of YouTube, I'm going to be using this video for praise and education purposes only.
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
January 20th, 1961, President Kennedy takes the oath of office. 3 days later, a nuclear-armed B-52 bomber begins a routine flight over North Carolina.
I had some engine trouble, and actually part of the bomber exploded. In this particular case, it was carrying two extremely large thermonuclear weapons, two hydrogen bombs, came right out of the fuselage.
The hydrogen bomb is basically like bringing a piece of the sun down on Earth.
Now, there are safety devices on all nuclear weapons precisely intended to stop them from going off unless they're supposed to. And in the case of one of these nuclear weapons, the parachute deployed, it floated safely to Earth, and it was recovered. The other one wasn't so lucky. The parachute didn't deploy, and the signal to the bomb to fire was actually given. So the bomb should have exploded. There was one safety feature, apparently a low voltage switch, that held.
We were saved by a tiny microcircuit, a switch, really. If it had gone off, we would have lost about half of North Carolina.
When a nuclear weapon is stolen, dropped, somehow damaged, it's called a broken arrow. Basically meaning that the weapon is no longer in the custody of who it's supposed to be in, or that it won't function as intended. And over the course of the nuclear era in the US, there have been dozens of broken arrow incidents.
In addition to broken arrows, there have been a terrifying number of white-knuckle close calls.
One of the most significant was in June 3rd, 1980, when the NORAD board lit up with a ballistic missile attack from the Soviet Union.
So National Security Advisor Brzezinski was woken up in the middle of the night, and he was told by the military assistant, "We've detected 220 incoming ICBMs from the Soviet Union." And he decided to go back to the military aide and said, are you sure? And the military aide checked and came back and said, "No, we've made a mistake. It's not 220, it's 2,200.
Brzezinski thought this was it. He looked over at his wife sleeping and decided not to wake her, because in 30 minutes, we'd all be dead.
And Brzezinski says he was very close to recommending retaliation.
Fortunately, there was a third phone call. It's a mistake, we're standing down.
NORAD did not detect any incoming nuclear weapons. What happened is a computer chip failed and somehow triggered a warning that actually didn't exist. Everything was perfectly fine. The computer chip apparently cost 46 cents.
A computer chip almost caused World War III.
Now, one might be tempted to say this was a one-off, but in fact it wasn't. A similar computer chip failed 3 days later, creating another warning of incoming nuclear weapons that actually didn't exist.
There have been dozens of very significant false alarms. training tapes being inserted into computers simulating a nuclear attack, and nobody knew it was just a training exercise. Flocks of geese mistaken for a missile flight, a rising moon over Norway mistaken for bomber launch.
But false alarms involving nuclear weapons are not just a Cold War phenomenon.
A false emergency alert about a ballistic missile threat had people running for cover.
In 2018, all the residents of Hawaii got emergency alert systems on their phone. Ballistic missile attack, seek cover. This is not a drill.
And there was reason to believe it was true.
Rocket Man should have been handled a long time ago.
People thought this was it, because tensions had been high between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea, with talk of fire and fury.
People are freaking out, and, you know, as well they should be. Imagine just picking up your cell phone and seeing that the government is telling you that you're about to be met with nuclear Armageddon.
And so people called family members in the mainland to say goodbye.
I just want to know that I love you guys.
You know, they took shelter anywhere they could think of.
People even took the covers off of manholes so that they could put their children in the storm drains, and that maybe they would be protected there from an incoming ballistic missile.
And for 38 terrifying minutes, people thought this was the end of their lives, maybe the end of the world, before it was disclosed that this was a mistake.
So what went wrong? An employee at the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency accidentally sent out a real alert during a drill.
But if Hawaii had been connected to the national network and it was a national alert, the entire country would have been put into this panic with no way of knowing whether it was real or not.
The point of all of these false alarms is once you get to the president, how does the president know that it's a false alarm? The president would have 15 minutes or less to make a decision about whether or not to respond. How do we know that during that time, any mistake, any problem, any glitch in the computer system would be resolved and that someone would be able to get to the president and say, wait a minute, it's not 2,200 incoming nuclear weapons, it's actually a faulty computer chip. My bad, sorry, we woke you.
So, pretty much in the video, I'm going to broken the previous mistakes that I made as the first incident was that my third President Kennedy was, also being that he basically threw a bomb and dropped the two H-bombs with one parachute of safety, but the other one didn't. And so pretty much the device stopped it from going off. Now, excuse me, in a time comes, nothing is basically, kicks off. There aren't going to be any mistakes, you're going to know that no one's going to declare it, Once these missiles are launched, there won't be any bouncing around, no missiles bounce off of each other and, explode in the middle of, every message that has been and is currently being created is going to be new, you can just say, well, let's do it, nothing going to be left, nothing going to be left, and as you can see, for the serious, what's going to happen, President of the United States will have, 15 minutes at the most to respond or have a meeting to retaliate, but he's not going to ever say exactly retaliate, because again, that's what many alarms first did, if we're going to start flying on the little road, the majority of them are going to hate America, because the problem side that America, aka Babylon the Great, will be destroyed by feminist power. So in the book of Isaiah chapter 54 verse 16, Yahweh has created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and will bring forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the vessel to destroy it and ruin the land. And this to destroy, this is talking about those ICB and missiles. you know, they're going to be used. Ammunition again that has been created and that is currently being created in the community being developed are all going to be used. Not one missile is going to be left. There are going to be no broken arrows. You know, and you bring the virus with us. Okay, just to quickly check 2 and start at verse 1. And it says, the terrible visitation because once the Lord comes back, you know, in the midst of World War III, you know, then what's going to happen. The Lord visits his earth, you know, June in the 17th of the 23rd. The Spirit of the Lord is going to be in these missions, you know, even though you know they have their specific coordinates, you know, specific targets, you know, the Spirit of the Lord is still going to be in these missions, guiding them. So there's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1, and it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is not near, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people that are strong, they have not been ever the like, neither shall they like it, neither shall be any more active, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Salachya. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Nay, and nothing shall escape them, nothing in the dreams of talking about their images. So like I said, you know, pretty much what these things feel like. In reality, you know, the most people, you know, the most time, I want to say, you know, because I could be wrong, but the most time people have to do anything would be about 30 minutes, you know, 15 minutes, you know, at the least. But there's a lot of fast things that are going to be traveling, you know. And again, it says nothing is going to escape them because again, they're going to be traveling extremely fast. People aren't going to have time to do anything. There is no escape. You know, the elites, you know, the numbers well, even they're going to ultimately escape that destruction because, you know, they're going to be the first slaves after, you know, this destruction takes place. But pretty much anyone that is left undisturbed in the nuclear is going to be destroyed. You know. Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and that's what it means. So shall they run like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains, shall they leap like the noise of a flame that devours the stubble, as a strange people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained, all their faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in this path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Yes, this is what he's talking about. You know, there's been plenty of instances of so-called black Americans, not just in America, but in all over, that once what they happen to being black Americans, these niggas are not going to be, deactivated, they're not going to malfunction. Because it says, the message of the system that America has is ultimately going to fail, because America is pretty much, it doesn't have any laws, it's pretty much unlawful. And they do have their military, but overall, once you can maintain laws, then the protect, the secular village, the city, America is going to be able to law villages. So, it's like you're like you could say that every leading message I'm not going to, interfere with, in the benefit system, it's not going to stop them. Ultimately, even if they try to reflect it, whatever message they shoot at these other messages, that's how that's what it can keep going. Going to be in the document instead of maybe looking to hit those targets. But now, see if they shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars, shall withdraw their shining, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his strength is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Look at the Bible. And the only people that are going to be able to survive, the destruction of come will be the elect of the nation of Israel, because that's who already had a child coming back to save, the entire nation of Israel can be saved like the time of Exodus, brought out of Egypt. 2/3 of our people have to die, because they're wicked. And ultimately, the elect, whether they be the enemies, they will be in the esteem that can survive because of the things that they're going to save them. When they be unseen number. But ultimately, these methods are just a part of the Lord's army. And all of these methods are going to be used, being doesn't matter. So this is just something real quick, I thought was interesting. So yeah, this cousin is edifying, fully defining glory that you have Parashim Yashai, Parashim Kakadash. I have to give the honors to the apostles and to the great wisdom. Hallelujah, true from the like to say, peace and salutations. That's the hopefully that goodness coming soon, sure.